Hello everyone, welcome to yet another Cave Divers React. My name is Gus.
Hi, I'm Woody.
And today we're going to be reacting to a video from a legend.
Nice.
Agnes was involved with the movie Sanctum, which we did a reaction for here. People ask, why was that movie so incorrect or accurate about the diving? Did they have any consultants? Yes, Agnes Milowka was actually a consultant on that movie. She was an amazing cave explorer, amazing cave diver. And, a lot of people have pointed out the fact that she actually died cave diving like a year or two after the movie.
And only at 29, right?
And she was 29 years old. Yeah. She died 10 years ago. I don't know when you're watching this video, but she died in 2011, February of 2011. And the coolest thing about Agnes is that she was a cave explorer. And she recorded and wrote a lot. Like, I think she authored like 15 different books and things.
Wow.
About her projects. She connected Peacock Springs to another system called Cow Springs.
Amazing.
And I remember talking to Brian Boucher about this. I said, is that, just in honor of Agnes, is that a traverse we can do from Peacock to Cow Springs? And that thing is so tight that I wouldn't fit, for sure. And I don't think anybody in the team would fit. Maybe Mike Young, maybe, one of those guys can fit. But if you read Agnes's like day-by-day account of her exploration of Peacock and Cow Springs, you can see that it took her like 3 days to fit. And she was, again, a legend when it comes to those tight restrictions. Unfortunately, that's kind of how she died as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing this video. I think I saw it years ago. You can see the quality is old. I mean, again, she died 10 years ago, so the video is even older than that. Yeah, she's awesome. So let's see what we think about this one.
Like off the boat. This is it. Check this out. We'll leave the tonic water behind. Well, this cave's pretty rarely dived, so we're pretty lucky to be here having a look at it. Well, over here you can just see the boil and the cave. Let's watch out.
This cave's in like the middle of nowhere, Just see a boil and he's like, let's go in. Let's go
I'm going to get in.
See?
That thing is not. It's going to be a major
Oh my God.
But we'll see. We'll try. Well, what we're up against is a tight, silty, high-flow cave. So it's going to be hard work getting in there.
She's just smiling the whole time.
Such a badass. Tight, silty, high flow cave. Can't wait to get in. I love it. Side mount, 10 years ago, or more than 10 years ago. She was one of the early adopters of side mount. "60 Minutes Australia," she's Australian, did a profile on her, and they did a really good job about cave diving and Agnes, both. Here we go.
Is she on a line?
This is New Cave.
Look at the flow, everybody. Blowing straight at her.
It's a fire hydrant.
That is really
All right, so let me stop right here for a second, because Woody and I recently went to a cave that is very similar to this, at least the beginning of it. It's called Jug Hole in Florida. And the first restriction looks like this, but I would say it's probably twice as tall, right? I mean, this one looks way tighter than what we did.
Is that on the left, right below her arm, what she's about to go through? Where's the
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
that
man.
slit right there.
That looks impossible to get through.
That looks impossible. I think the bedding plane, which is the first restriction at Jug Hole, which is, by the way, not a beginner cave, it's tight. We were on side mount rebreathers because our regular back mounted rebreathers, our Kiss Spirits, would not fit. I don't care how small you are, you cannot fit on a back mount. So she's side mount, but she's about to go through a restriction that I wouldn't go through in my dreams. I wouldn't fit. No chance. And yeah. And the flow. Look at that.
Look. Oh, man.
It's
Wow.
like a credit card slot. It's like
Wow.
so thin.
Oh, man. It's interesting the photographer is already in front of her. I
Yeah.
have no idea how he's there. Look how tight that is. Okay, she's way badder than us. Way badder meaning badass.
Oh,
Way, way, way beyond.
yeah. I mean,
I'm like, okay, you're incredible.
yeah.
Oh.
It's not. We're not in the same league. I'm not.
Oh,
we're
maybe
not, I'm not even
there's
gonna
a
pretend.
photographer in back of her, but it's also maybe that's her GoPro in front of her.
I have no idea.
Okay, so
Obviously.
she's in a full silt out right now, as you can see, which is great. This is what it looks like. You can't see anything, and then you get a little reward.
Yeah, because you make it through the restriction, cave opens up, and the flow is not as strong. I do think I see a line on
Yes.
her right.
Yes.
Yeah. Perfect technique. I mean, there's
Beautiful.
nothing to say about her technique or her abilities. She's
I mean,
way
look
better.
at how tight
Way
of a
better.
spot she's in.
Yeah. Look at those baby front kicks.
I mean, you're
I would have silted this whole thing.
you
like it would have
dragging.
been. You cannot.
You're
see it.
dragging.
Yeah. Look at this.
This is amazing.
Sideways.
I don't think you're getting through that one. I'm just saying. I love you, man, but I don't think so.
There's not enough WD-40 in the world to let me get through it. Maybe if I take Igor's axe, I might.
I'm gonna pause at this because this may be a
I might
T-shirt.
chip.
Even if I lubed you for hours of
Let's not-
WD-40,
I don't want to think about that.
Woody
for
lubes
hours.
up Gus for hours. You're not getting through that.
Let's watch Agnes.
No, I'm just saying. I
I feel
can't
like-
lube you enough to get through that.
All right. What a badass. Look at these tiny tunnels.
Yeah, this is a super, super advanced cave, man. They open up a little here, finally. I assume there's line laid already in there, so she's not discovering this
Yep, you
cave.
see the line right below her.
Yep. And the photographer's pretty badass as well.
Oh, yeah.
Line.
Now, this part looks cool. That tunnel does look cool. I want to do that. But to get to the tunnel is impossible. So, yeah.
you weren't even getting your head through the first slit, so
No.
there's no getting here. I mean,
No. Look at this.
yeah, that's not happening. Come on, and stretch. Totally calm. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Totally chilled.
Heart rate is low, low, low. This is nothing.
My light's back on, and here I go.
Going out of the fire hydrant.
You know she's gonna be pumped when she. Wow. Wes Skiles?
Yeah.
Okay. No wonder that he was the photographer, I bet.
Yep.
Yeah,
So, of
I
course.
guess.
Yep.
So, okay. So you had a world-class cave diver in front of her.
That's a photographer.
I'm
that's right.
assuming. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
yeah.
I thought it was cool that, I mean, first of all, you get to see a amazing cave diver at it. You will not see any of this when you watch our cave dives, right? You know, I mean, it's a complete different level.
Then it's not bye-bye jet ski. It's bye-bye Gus and Woody. I mean, there's no...
No. Well, I mean, that, but
Look,
I get to that first restriction. I'm like, okay, see, I'll be back on the boat. See you later. It's over.
Yeah. Now, this is super advanced, everybody, and she's an expert. She's an
amazing.
absolute expert cave diver. You've got a world-class, whatever you want to rate her, expert going through there with an expert.
Yeah. She used to explore caves with Ed Sorensen, who we've had on the show. She used to explore caves that some of her dive buddies, who were also world-class cave explorers, wouldn't be able to follow her because it was so tight, and she would go through. But again, unfortunately, she went through a cave, and I don't remember the exact, thing that happened, but she went through a restriction that she had to go no mount, meaning she had to take all those tanks off and go through it. I think she even took her wing off or something like that. And she just made it through with just the regulator in her mouth. And at some point, I don't know if it was flow or whatever, the regulator came out and she ended up on the other side of the restriction with no tanks, no regulator, no nothing. And she drowned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It took
By
like
the way,
days for them to get her body, by the way, to get somebody to be able to go in to get her body and get it out.
Yeah. We don't do no mount.
No.
I've never done no mount. No mount means, frankly, taking off gear at all. I've never taken gear off. I've had to lift a tank up and be wedged a little in some of the stuff I do with Brian, actually, but nothing ever was unclipped, taken off, shoved through for me so far.
And I like the fact that when I did my cave diving training with Doug, that was his limit too. And I think that's what convinced me to become a full cave diver is when I went through my cavern training and I was talking about like, I don't think I can be a cave diver. I'm too big. I don't want to be taking off stuff or whatever, because everything you see online is videos like this, right? Doug said, well, that's great, because my limit is if I have to take off gear in order to get through a restriction, I won't go. There's so many caves out there that are massive where you don't have to take anything off.
That's right.
Why go through something like this? I get it. There's a satisfaction of making it to caves that most cave divers even wouldn't go to. I can absolutely see the attraction on that. But for me, that was my limit, and that was Doug's limit, and that's why I think within the team we're all kind of compatible. We just don't take stuff off.
Agree.
Right. But anyway, I wanted to feature Agnes because she's a legend in our eyes. She's a cave diving legend. Absolutely. Unfortunately, she's not here with us. She was 1 year older than me. We're about the same age. She was born in 82. I was born in 83. And, I would have loved to meet her and interview her in our show and have her with us. I mean, so much we could have learned from her. But unfortunately, it's one of those things where.
How about all she did before the age of 29? She did all that discovery before she was 29. So she's pretty amazing.
Unbelievable. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, getting to know yet another legend of the cave diving world you probably didn't know about. I love to, feature other divers that are way better than us on the show, of course. And That's it. That's all we have for this week. Hopefully you subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that already, and like this video, share with other people as well, and maybe become a member. Like, we're now creating more and more original content, and in order for us to create original content, we have to sometimes go places where we can film that content. So
I was kind of quiet this week.
yeah,
which means I'm going to triple up on the next round. No, I was quiet because these deserved to just let play out a little. I mean, there was only a few comments to make on some of the recent ones that we did. Like when you see a legend like this.
Absolutely.
Just more of wow than anything else.
Yeah, she's awesome. But anyway, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.